Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Bwtm Sports. Big news, we will be hosting a live boxing event. So live boxing coming to Bwtm Sports this Saturday, 1 p.m. sharp UK time. Got a lot of boxing to catch up on, haven't we? Let's talk about it all now on Bwtm Sports. Don't go anywhere. So as we said, this Saturday, August the 21st, 1 p.m. sharp, Bwtm Sports will be bringing you live coverage from the FELACHAMP promotion boxing show in Lagos, Nigeria. So we'll be showing you a card full of promising fighters, some professional fighters, some exhibition bouts for the younger kids. So yeah, it's going to be a great card of boxing. And for those of you who don't already know, there's a set of interviews that I've already done with some of the fighters that are going to be on the card to get you prepared. Right, so enough of that for the moment. Let's talk about the boxing. Let's just change this round a second. Let me just change our screen and we'll get started. Give me a moment. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. This is Bwtm Sports. This is also Bwtm Africa and our other African channel as well. Good. So let's talk about the boxing we've missed out on. Well, first of all, Errol Spence is no longer fighting Manny Pacquiao, as you know. He pulled out with a detached retina. There are a lot of people in the boxing world that have suddenly become doctors, and some are saying it's a fake injury. Other people are saying he's ducking Pacquiao. And there are other people that think, you know what, it's unfortunate. And if you look at the footage of Errol Spence, in this particular sparring, it didn't look too good. Spence looked like he was being pretty roughed up in a bit of a bad camp. But that could be a sparring session from any point in time. It could be done at any time whatsoever. And if you're going to be a conspiracy theorist, you could say they put that video out first, for them afterwards, a week later, say he did a detached retina. If you want to go down that road and go and say that, otherwise you just take it for what it is. The man has got an injury. He sustained an injury. He's not the only person in boxing who's sustained an injury. Gary Mason had the injury. Frank Bruno's had the injury. Sugar Ray Leonard's had the injury. There are many fighters that have had eye injuries, torn retinas or detached retinas, and have come back and boxed. Will Spence be able to come back and box? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. It's unfortunate this has happened because we all want to see Spence fight Pacquiao. You know, some saw it as a time where Spence would be able to, you know, to become a legend. You've got to beat a legend. You know, I thought Spence would absolutely destroy Pacquiao. There were people out there that thought that Pacquiao could do the job on Spence. So this Saturday night we would have found that out. Instead, we're fighting. UGAS is now fighting Pacquiao. Totally different style from southpaw to orthodox. The orthodox style will suit Pacquiao more because obviously that left hand would be more of a danger. But UGAS is a big, strong welterweight, and there's conflicting reports about Manny Pacquiao. Some people are saying he's looking better than ever, and some people are saying in sparring he's not looking that great. In fact, some people are saying he's looking. You just don't know where these reports are coming from, and sometimes when reports like that come out and they say a guy's looking old, it's for you to get a false sense of security, for you to actually believe that the guy's actually looking old, and he comes out and dazzles you. So nobody knows what Pacquiao's going to look like on the night. So is UGAS going to be the guy that hits the lottery? Is he going to be the guy on the night that gets the opportunity to beat Pacquiao and get the glory that Spence should have had? Nobody knows. We're only going to know on Saturday night. And UGAS is, he's fought. Some people thought he beat Sean Porter. So hey, I'm happy for the man to have got the opportunity, and I hope he does well. I hope he takes the opportunity with both hands, literally. He punches hard enough. He's a strong guy. He's a hard worker. So I wish him well. But yeah, I really wish him well. I wish him all the best. So that's Ugas and Pacquiao out of the way. Who am I picking? I don't know, because I don't know what Pacquiao's going to show up. The guy's in box for what, 2 years? He's 42 now. You don't know if that rest has re-energized him or he's made him older. I don't know. He's obviously older by age, but you just don't know how that rest would have done for Pacquiao. And you don't even know what Pacquiao's got left. Hard fight after hard fight after hard fight. Plus he fought Keith Thurman as well in that last fight and was quite badly hurt in that Thurman fight I heard afterwards. Not during the fight, but afterwards. Pacquiao was sustained a lot of injuries, so I understand. That's what I heard from reports afterwards. Again, you don't know about these reports, whether it's true or not, but he's had a good time to recover. But of course, at 42, it takes more time for the body to heal. So we'll see. We'll just see what Pacquiao's got. It does tell you something of the state of boxing, that we have to rely on a 42-year-old to deliver our satisfaction in boxing. When the youngsters will only fight once or twice a year, this guy Pacquiao's fighting at 42 years old at the top level. It is something. And we have guys like Jake Paul, who people are mesmerized by now. It kind of shows you the level of what boxing's at today. And this is what happens when promoters don't put their heads together, and people have got more excuses to get out of fights because of promoters with big egos. And that's mainly the problem. Promoters that have got big egos, and managers have got big egos, they can't drop their pride and kind of say, let's make this fight happen. I think gone are the days where we've got guys who say, you know what, I'll take a lower cut to kick your ass, and after I've kicked your ass, I'm asked to double the amount of money. Those days are gone. Everybody wants to be the A side. Everybody wants the 50-50. And nobody wants to be the B side, even if they are the B side, and they haven't earned their right. People are getting some people are getting overpaid. And when I mean overpaid, I mean they've absolutely done nothing in the sport and getting seriously a lot of money, and that's because of their promoter or their promotions. I guess. Yeah, again, I don't fault Jake Paul. I don't fault them at all. All the Pauls, I don't oppose them, because they're doing exactly what I said a lot of boxers should a long time ago. Just promote yourself. Don't leave it to the promoter, although that's the promoter's job. Don't leave it to them to do it. You have to sell yourself. So that's my thoughts on that. People in the room says, Ugas is a sleeper. Sometimes these late replacements can shock you. Oh, yeah. Remember, Pacquiao was a late replacement when he first came to us and stopped a champ. Yep. And Ugas has stopped Roy Robinson, one of our regular guests. That Cuban style is a problem. Nazim Richardson rightly pointed out the key to beating Pac-Man is turning him. And in Pac-Man Mosley, Shane was initially winning. Oh, yeah. With Gary Russell Jr. fighting once a year, and this happens with others besides him. You have blunt today's fighters compete with old timers. No chance, no way. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The old timers fought regularly. They fought the best. There was none of this ducking A side, B side nonsense. They just fought, and that was it. And the best fought the best. In the lower weight class, I keep my eye on Jessica McCaskill, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, and so many more. Well, I said to a lot of people that McCaskill would go on and become a champion. She not only become a champion, she become undisputed. Not a bad call. Okay, let's talk about the next thing up. David Haye and his mate. What's his name? Fortuna. No, whatever his name is. So a comeback fight in September. I said years ago, David Haye, with the person that he had in the UK, he should have been in America and fighting in America on big cards in America, not at the Playboy Mansion, but fighting in Las Vegas, fighting at MGM. That's where Haye should have been fighting. That sort of person is what Haye had, or still has, and I thought he should have been fighting them. Instead, David Haye opted to fight in the UK, maybe because of the British pound. I don't know. But it'd been nice to have seen him fight and knock Americans out. That'd have been great in America, coming out to Ain't No Stopping Us Now. Instead, we've got David Haye fighting on Thriller. against his mate is good. And you know what? A lot of people say, well, Haye will go out there and blow him out in a round. Haye literally hasn't got a leg to stand on. And I would not be surprised. You remember when Haye made that bet? He said he betted himself to beat Audie Harrison in the third round. You see, I would say fighters fighting patterns, and almost they do similar things outside the ring. And I would not be surprised if David Haye would bet on himself to lose because so many people expect David Haye to blow his best mate away. You understand? And his best mate's only a light heavyweight. Haye's going blown up to heavyweight. So to me, Haye's only coming for a one-off fight. So if he comes to a one-off fight and he wins, where does that take him? He fights a guy that he's meant to knock out anyway. It doesn't prove anything. It's on his professional record. But now, if you think about it, a professional fight and a win for his best mate, that gets his career recharged. And then David Haye, arguably, could manage him. Check this out. So not only David Haye kind of retires on a stool because he can't fight, but this guy gets the win, right? This guy gets the win. And then Haye manages him. So he's the guy that beat David Haye after Tony Bellew in America on Thriller. And David Haye walks away with the money he gets paid by Thriller, plus any extra he went and bet himself between him and his mate. It's a great big bank robbery right in front of our faces. This I wouldn't be surprised if David Haye went down this route. And it would be the smartest thing. What's his name? Joe Fortinia, that's his name. Or whatever his name is, Joe. They'll call him Joe. But between Haye and Joe, or David and Joe, they could really rob the bank. Literally. Floyd Mayweather talks about robbing the bank. But these two, right, they could literally rob the bank. Because so many people want to see David Haye come back and fight again, right? They do. People still want to see Haye knocking guys out, and they don't really want to accept that Tony Bellew beat him. Don't want to accept it. So they're thinking, well, if Haye can come back and he can just, that's how people think. It's 40 years. Haye's 40 years old now, and his ankles were busted. He's gone. And what does he gain knocking out his best mate? But now if his best mate knocks him out or stops him, they're best mates. I wonder if they're sparring together. I wonder if they're choreographing that fight. I just wonder. But to me, if you're a betting man, I would bet on Joe to beat Haye, because Haye's got no shame. He's got no shame whatsoever. Any man that can get and put his toe at the end of a press conference and put his toe on a table to tell people that's the reason why he couldn't beat Klitschko. Man that can do that is a man, as far as I'm concerned, quite liable to sell his whole career out for a bit of dosh for his best mate. So that's the kind of way I'm seeing it. Forgive me for thinking that way, but it's the Haye way, but I know people are in love with Haye coming back. With things as desperate as they are, how much more is it going to take for you to come back, Ingram? If Haye came back, you can. Yeah, mate, sure. David had good flashes in the heavyweight. He let injuries and bad management decisions slow him down. Yep. I don't know why he never fought in America. I really don't. Haye would often overtrain and spar without proper gear and sustain injuries. I think his body is too broken down at this point to be a true challenge. Joe, I can't pronounce the guy's last name. Says David Haye does have a cult following, but I don't think he'll be able to pull anything off spectacular. That's what I'm saying. He does have a cult following. Main thing is, I just want to finish the fight and get home safely to my family in it. I don't like this sport, but I'm good at it. Tony Bellew. Wow, there you go. Mr. Invisible. He's made himself very visible. So that's my thoughts. I'll beat Haye. Finally, let's talk about Joshua Buatsi. did some good things against Bolotniks. I backed Bolotniks to beat Joshua Buatsi, and I'll tell you something. Had it not for Virgil Hunter, Buatsi might have well got beaten by Bolotniks. Now, the good things I saw of Buatsi, I saw where he did the shoulder, the cross arm defense on the inside. I like that. I like that stuff. That was nice. That was nice. But I'm sorry. Me personally, not convinced of that performance. You're talking about sticking this guy with a world title who leaves his chin out to dry and he's open to big, still soaking up big right hands. He got shook on more than one occasion by a guy who's not a noted puncher, right? He got shaken. Could you imagine Joe Smith landing that right hand? Could you imagine, God forbid, Anthony Yard landing that right hand? Could you imagine? Could you imagine Callum Johnson landing a right hand on Bwatsi's chin? I'm sorry, he's still defensively irresponsible. And he's still getting tagged with big right hands, and he's eating big right hands. Yes, his finish was good against Bolotniks, but he gets hit with way too many punches, gets hit way too many overhand rights. And if you look at him during that fight, his arms kept dropping down and dropping down and dropping down. And that right hand over the top is what Buatsi does not seem to see. And that's why I think Buatsi's tailor-made for Callum Johnson, because they're going to hit him hard. They're going to hit him hard. And I don't know if Buatsi's punch resistance is that good. I really don't. At the highest level, particularly in the light heavyweight division, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, heavyweight, you need to have a good, decent chin. And they're talking about a world title fight where this guy has got serious defensive flaws. I mean, yes, he did that stuff on the inside. That was nice. I loved that. But defensively, Buatsi's shocking. He, as I said, ships too many punches, doesn't move his head off the line. And he's a knockout weight ready. I keep on saying it. So I can't yet say he's ready for a world title shot. And stay clear of Callum Johnson. Buatsi, stay clear of Callum Johnson. Stay clear of Anthony Yard. Lyndon Arthur, different. I think Lyndon Arthur's different because he's not Lyndon Arthur's not he's an out and out puncher. Do you understand? Whereas Yard and Callum Johnson are more guys who their punching power makes up their style. Whereas Lyndon Arthur's more technical. He's a boxer puncher. And I would say that Yard and Johnson are more puncher boxers. So their punching power is what defines them. You look at Johnson and Yard, both heavy hitters, powerful right hand, particularly Johnson. Johnson hits with the right hand, left hook. Yard hits with that straight right hand. And Buatsi is going to get hit with that all night long if he can take it. So I'm not one of these when you're going to stick him in for a world title shot. The boy is not ready. I heard a story that they're going to stick him in with Kovalev. Kovalev is chinny, but Kovalev can punch. And if Kovalev can come out and use a nice jab and get that right hand off and actually fight, not like that sparring session, but if he can show some sort of form, he's going to give Buatsi problems because he punches like a mule, Kovalev. Absolutely punches like a mule. Do human beings have cervical fluids in their brains, Ingram? I don't know. I'm not a human being. Because Buatsi did look good. Please let him have sound management to develop properly and make a good mark in boxing. Please, someone help him. Mate, he did not look good. I'm sorry. He looked defensively flawed against Bolotniks. I'm just saying, against a nice, tasty puncher, you might not have seen Buatsi. He might not have won that fight. And that's what I look at. What's up, bro? AJ's the man. Thank you for letting me know that. Joe Smith Jr. knocking guys out of the ring. Yeah, I like Joe Smith Jr. I've always said he'd go on to be a champion. I like Joe Smith Jr. I like him. Buatsi was out of ideas by the six and those continuous low blows. Craig Richards when Buatsi plays. Yeah, let's make that happen. absolutely. That's a good fight. I like Craig Richards. He is long, tall, does a nice right hand. I like that's a nice fight for Buatsi right there. But I don't know if Buatsi is going to be one of these guys that when the big punches come, he goes missing. He looks a guy that can give it. I don't know if he can take it, and that is the question mark about Joshua Buatsi. Can he take it from a big puncher? And we're yet to see Buatsi with a guy who can really punch. And his career is so slow burning that I think to myself, slow burning. When I hear about fighters that have slow burning careers and haven't fought big punches, I said this about Luis Ortiz. When you have guys like a guy told me in America, training told me, when that happens, look out, because those guys are usually been exposed to be quite chinny. So don't say it didn't flash up the warning right there. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Again, good evening to everybody who's joining us tonight. If you're BTM FTM online or Bwtm Sports, don't forget this Saturday, 1 p.m. live boxing. So we're going to be broadcasting live boxing from FELACHAMP Promotions or Promotion. I keep putting promotion. They're going to tell me off about this. Check that out. It's live. So yeah. Sorry, bruv. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Craig Richards underrated too much. I heard a rumor Bwatsi is getting paid too much. His opponent's coming with low wage. Robert Krodnaski, I heard next. He is getting, well, I don't know if he's getting paid too much. I just think that Bwatsi is I think he's overrated. I do think he's heavily overrated. So no hate, love you all. Thank you very much. Avatar Dylan. Okay. There's nothing wrong. If you like AJ, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Don't hate AJ. I was just wondering why you talk about AJ when we're talking about Joshua Buatsi. Although AJ is his manager, so there's some relevancy there. 150,000 a fight. That's a lot. But he's a former Olympian, isn't he? He's a former Olympian, and he's an AJ fighter. So AJ's going to get the best deal possible for his fighters. Buatsi could have gone elsewhere. He went with AJ, so it's a lot, but he's an AJ fighter. So, and her can pay that. So what can you say about that? What else is there to think about and talk about? I don't think there's much more for me to talk about, actually. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I don't want to hear nothing more from Tyson Fury until I know they've done the weigh-in and they're doing the ring walk. Other than that, I don't want to hear no more about Tyson Fury. I don't want to hear about his dad or what his dad thinks. The other day, his dad was saying that Deontay Wilder is dangerous and it's a dangerous fight, and his son should come home. Suddenly, his son's come home, and now it's like I don't know, Pac-Man without all the pack pellets, and then suddenly they eat the pellets, and then suddenly they've got the power pellet, and suddenly they're talking again. Oh yeah, we're going to knock Deontay Wilder out. We're going to do this and that. I don't know. I've heard enough. I've had enough talk about this fight. I just want to see the fight happen. That's it. Because Buatsi is cute. Buatsi is cute, but he stays in the pocket 2K. Yeah, he does stay in the pocket, and he doesn't know how to distance Wilder. I do too, brother. I just think Buatsi takes too many punches. Virgil Ortiz is the man. 23-year-old beast. Not really. I'm not a Virgil Ortiz. There's certain guys in boxing that I just can't take to. Virgil Ortiz is one of them. I just think he's a good fighter, but I think he's a good fighter. Good fighter. That's it. He's one. Devin Haney's another one. Good fighter. That's it. Ryan Garcia, good fighter. That's it. There's certain fighters that I just see. Balanga, being on this channel, big puncher, think he's chinny. I definitely think he's chinny, but we'll see. I'm a John Ennis fan. He does it all. John Ennis was on this channel And people think I'm going to start poking holes, but I guess I've been spoiled in boxing. Jordan Ennis is okay, but he defensively, when he's throwing his punches, he leaves himself open to get hit. You can throw punches in between Jordan Ennis, and he can get hit. Again, another guy that his defense is questionable. If a guy hasn't got a good D, if they're not got a good defense, right? For me, I got a problem with that. Unless they're a huge puncher, once they've got real good punching power, that can be defensive as well. It can keep people off them. When you're a really good puncher, you look at when Lopez fought Lomachenko. Lomachenko didn't do the things he normally do because he thought, well, if I do anything stupid in this fight, I'm going to get my ass knocked out. So to prevent myself knocked out, I'm going to keep my distance. That's how you saw Lomachenko Lopez play out, because Lomachenko was like, I don't want to get knocked out by this geezer. This geezer's he's got one punch knockout power. I ain't interested in that. And he's a lot bigger than me. So this is how defense can work well when you're a big puncher, you see. But Jordan Ennis, again, another guy, I'm not good fighter. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he'll be a great fighter. I think he should be a good fighter. A lot of these guys are, I'd call them false right champions. They've got world titles, or they're title holders, but they don't convince me that they're real champions, you know? That's just me. Then there are guys who are real champions, you know, and there's a difference. Do you understand? There's a difference. Who are your top 3 boxers right now, Ingram? Top 3 boxers. Man, I have to think about that. Top 3 boxers. Jamal Charlo's in my top 3. Jamal Charlo is 1. I like Jamal Charlo. Can box, can punch, can stay in the pocket. I like Inoue. Really like Inoue. I like Canelo. Champion. Love Wilder. But for different reasons, I like different fighters. Like Spence. When Crawford's fighting, love Crawford, but he's got to fight better opposition. You understand? I want to see Crawford fight better opposition. There's probably some other guys that come off the top of my head. Gary Russell, those 2 are the ones for the future. Yep. I started watching Jordan Ennis back in 2017. Who's a surefire guy for you coming up? Surefire guy. You're asking me some questions tonight, bro. And I'm in 2 sports at the moment. I'm in cricket and in boxing. So my mind's like that at the moment. Surefire fighters. Surefire, I'm not sure, but I like McCann. Dennis McCann. I like Dennis McCann. Lyndon Arthur. Like him as well. I like how he goes about his business. Lyndon Arthur from Britain. I'm liking the way Tank Davis is going about his business. The way he's knocking guys out. Every challenge he's got, he's knocking the guys out. I like how Tank Davis is going about his business. Coming from behind and knocking a guy out. I like that. Like Bwatsi, like Roy Jones. Yeah, good kid. Yeah, of course. He's a nice guy, Bwatsi. Met him myself personally. Nice guy. But boxing's not about nice guys. Unfortunately, you know. I'd like to see him pay more attention to his defense. Like I said before. Sorry about throwing you off track. Is this Fortuna guy Hayes? Is David Hayes' best friend, mate? What happened to Spence, man? He damaged the same eye again. He hurt in a car crash. Limited time left for him. you do wonder. You wonder about these guys. You do wonder about these guys. I don't know. I don't know who's managing Spence. I don't know how his management is. I think Spence had a problem before. I kept saying he's an alcohol. Like, you look like an alcoholic to me. Every time you see him fight, you see him at these press conferences or these big fights, you always look completely out of it. And back in the day, Don King's time, we used to have handlers. So a guy couldn't go to the toilet without his handler next to him. And you don't see a lot of that in boxing today, where handlers or trainers follow their fighters around. So people are not Tunde Ajayi, but Tunde Ajayi is like the old school trainers. Like my old trainer, Ronnie Rush, who trained Steve Robinson and trains Barry Jones. You couldn't even take a piss without, your trainer being there. That's how old school used to be. Customado, those sort of trainers, they weren't just your trainer. They were like your dad, your best friend. They were everything. They're your mentor. And your trainer was watching you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's what's missing today with a lot of the young fighters. They don't have those mentors. Now, that's not a knock on Derek James. That's not Derek James's business. It seems that, Derek has made it quite clear, I'm the trainer, I'll train you. But what you do outside is your business. That's your life. That's what it seems like. And fair play. So that's my answer on that Spence situation. I think I will do a video at some point. But yeah. All right. This is maybe a short video, not a long one tonight. But what else have I got to think about? I don't think there's anything else I really want to talk about at the moment. I don't think there's anything else that comes to mind. Anthony Joshua got too many handlers. Still, you're right. Surprised Al Heyman isn't doing the same with his top fighters. Yeah. But they're getting a lot of his top fighters are getting paid a lot of money. A lot of money. You look at Keith Thurman. I don't know how much Keith Thurman's got left of his career, to be honest. They're talking about him fighting Tank. That's when you think Thurman's not had a knockout for how long? Thurman's so vulnerable at the moment. And I don't even know if Thurman can beat Ugas, to be honest. Remember when Adrian Bernard Tank, the Charlo Spence East took over the post-fight press conference of Stavern Wilder 2, and they're all out of it? Yes. I do remember. But if you look at the Charlo's a little different, though. They seem to be able to separate. Yeah. They drink and they party, but they seem to be to, when it's time to knuckle down, they seem to be knuckled down. I don't know. It's not for me to say whether Spence's drinking got into his training camp. I don't know. It's not for me to speak on that. But yeah, clearly he looked like he was spiraling out the way he was to do these all these events drunk out of his head. AJ will stop Usyk in 3 rounds. Ha ha ha. There are some people that are thinking that, David Haye made a prediction, and he predicted that Usyk. Now, based on most of David Haye's predictions, if David Haye predicts somebody's going to win a fight, they often lose a fight. That's not a good sign. So let's hope David Haye has got better in his predictions, because if he isn't, it's not going to be good. I think it'll be a close fight. That fight will depend on one thing only. One thing. If Usyk can't take AJ's punching power, it's an early night. That's it. If Usyk cannot take AJ's punching power, that is it. That's it. Because that's it. Because you can have all that movement in the world, and you can do all that shuffling and all that tennis stuff for the tennis ball and all that funny stuff you can do. Great. And it looks great for the camera and stuff. But if you can't take AJ's punching power, it's going to get flattened. So you better be ready to take AJ's punching power early and hit AJ early, because he'll be able to absorb a lot of punishment. I just don't see him getting out of the way of AJ's punches. I just don't. I don't. He couldn't get out of Chisora's punches. So how's he going to get out of AJ's punches? And Joshua's more athletic than Chisora. I don't know. That's just me. But we'll see. Right. I think that's about it. Thank you all so much, as always, for watching Bwtm Sports. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. Thank you to our new subscribers. And make sure when you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell. And a lot of you are not subscribed to the channel. And if not subscribed to the channel, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button and then click all on the bell icon, all the videos and all the notifications. So make sure you hit the notification. Guys, no, AJ is a killer. Watch, put money on it, bro. Down, bro. I will do. I probably will do. Guys, do you speak to Porky's Corner, old Russell? I do. Well, I don't speak to him, but he does leave the odd comment here and there on the channel, and I do respond. So yeah, give AJ his respect. I do, and you know, we'll see. We'll just see, because it's boxing, and I could see what was going to happen in the Andy Ruiz fight. Called it as it was, but it's interesting. It's gonna be a good fight, I think. Right, I'm out of here. Again, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments. This is Bwtm Sports. Actually, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to do something a little different today to end. Let me see if I can do a different ending for you guys today. Got the same old boring ending. Let's see if I can do a different ending instead. Let me see if I can give you a different... Yeah. Let's do a different ending instead. I think we should do a different ending tonight. It's the same old boring ending. I think Huey Fu is fighting sometime soon, I believe. Let's see if we're going to get a good ending. Oh, just as I end, don't forget, those of our new subscribers, make sure that you get the mobile app. There you go. There's the mobile app. So make sure you get there. So on Google now, download that mobile app. You'll get all the latest videos on the channel. So you've got that as well. So let's give you a new ending.